everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Hannibal reaction video. Today I'm going to be watching, reviewing, and reacting to Season 2, Episode 2 of Hannibal. So, where we've left off, Will continues to be imprisoned, as everyone is under the mistaken impression that he killed Abigail as well as a variety of other people who actually were killed by Hannibal. Hannibal had set him up for this. And Will is aware, he's come to realize that Hannibal's responsible for this, but pretty much no one else has any sort of clue at this point in time. Meanwhile, Hannibal is playing, walking like a fine line in getting involved in both further situations with Will and with Jack and the FBI, pretty much endangering himself. One would say unnecessarily, and you have to wonder what exactly it is that he hopes to obtain. Is it just that he legitimately wants Will in his life in some capacity so much that he's willing to risk things like that? Or is he just so fascinated by the idea of playing Will? Or is he just curious to see what would happen, like with everything else? But regardless, he's getting perhaps too involved for his own good. And while this is going on, we also have a crazy serial killer on the loose who is creating a color wheel of human bodies based on skin tones, and there was some crazy visuals looking like an eye at the end of the last episode when it left off, so that was special. But, alright, so all that being said, let's get into this episode. Let's see what's gonna happen to Will this week. Alright, here we go.
Without remembering, you're seized by something imagined.
I don't know which is worse. Believing that I did it, or believing that you did it, and did this to me.
Hannibal isn't responsible, Will.
I feel like it'd be worse to be the killer and not know it.
We have to get to the truth of what happened. It's the only way you can move forward.
But the idea of someone manipulating you to that extent.
I felt so betrayed by you. Betrayal was the only thing that felt real to me.
Is this real?
You.
Does he really? Is he really going back and doubting again?
I needed to trust you.
And you can't trust me.
I'm very confused.
Of course you are.
Poor Will.
Well, let us help you. Let me help you.
I need your help.
Oh, God. Oh, Will. Oh, he was faking. He was.
Graham, I have begun to question your actions. Particularly your past actions with regards to me and my attack.
Did you share these questions with Jack Crawford?
No. And nor will I.
Oh, she's.
I would look just as guilty as you.
She's terrified of him right now.
Perhaps that is what you intended.
Certainly seems to have
What
figured
exactly
some things out.
Exactly, I cannot say. I've had to draw a conclusion based on what I glimpsed through the stitching of the person suit that you wear. And the conclusion that I've drawn
It's like a predator.
is that you are dangerous.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Are you?
Please don't come to my home again. I will see myself out.
on resuming Wilbraham's therapy.
To what end? Besides your own.
Yeah.
He asked for my help.
And maybe you deserve each other.
Jack, I had to go because I knew you wouldn't. If you had gone like you wanted, I wouldn't have had to. Why didn't you?
Because Wilbraham is either delusional or he's a psychopath, neither of which I can trust.
Fine, so don't trust him. Just listen to him.
I'm listening. This is what I'm hearing. If he's delusional, it's because I made him that way. If he's a psychopath, it's because everything in my gut is wrong.
You think he's innocent?
I don't know what I think.
That's
I
interesting
think he still
development.
wants to save lives, that's what I think.
I've bent the rules here in
Children. He's being very cooperative.
Oh, of course he is. He loves when I have visitors. He's recording every word. He's gossipy that way.
What do you want, Will?
He just Will knows.
I'm wondering if you can get me the thing I really want.
Try me.
I want you to ignore all the evidence against me.
You're right. I can't get that.
How many colors will this killer add to his box of crayons?
I mean, you gotta exert the pressure
Say I
that you
ignore the
can,
evidence
but
against you, what then?
Strike it from your mental record. Start it over. If I'm guilty, you'll find more evidence. If I'm not guilty, you'll maybe find that too.
All right.
kinda got an ally.
Good. Give me the file. I'll tell you what I think. I'm curious. What Hannibal Lecter have to say about Mr. Umber?
He thinks the killer tore him down, dumped his body like the others.
That may be what he said. Not necessarily what he thinks.
Hey, just so you fit.
He changed colors
Oh my
mid
God.
brushstroke.
Mmm, tasty.
You say?
Yes, what did Dr. Lecter say? As he throws away a foot.
Looks beyond this world into the next and sees a reflection of man himself.
Clearly.
I'm devoting a lot of time to this mural, Will. It's hard for me to focus on anything else I've been tasked to do. Could use your help.
Don't. Hannibal.
Why are you so different from everyone else? I didn't put you here. You are not my design. I don't know you.
Oh.
My name is Belinda de Maurice.
You're Hannibal Lecter's therapist.
I was like, what the fuck?
What's that like?
I've heard so much about you, I feel I almost know you.
You don't.
No, I don't. But I understand you better than I thought. I wanted to meet you before I withdraw.
What are you withdrawing from?
Getting eaten by Hannibal.
Well,
Trying
you're
to
a psychiatrist.
escape.
Our sense of self a consequence of social ties.
They certainly are in your case. It may be small comfort, but I am convinced Hannibal has done what he honestly believes is best for you.
Well, that isn't small comfort. That would be no comfort.
The traumatized are unpredictable because we know we can survive. You can survive this happening to you.
Happening to me.
Oh.
Stay behind the white line, ma'am. Ma'am?
Step away from the bars. Ma'am.
Will's like, any doubt I had is gone now. Got his plastic murder suit on. Guess she was right to want to disappear, withdraw. She knew he'd come.
And the conclusion that I've drawn is that you are.
Yeah, he likes it. Oh my god. Hannibal. Alright, well, that was episode 2. Another very good episode. So this one, quite a lot of it centered around, again, around the relationship between Hannibal and Dr. Dumaurier. As she has come to the correct conclusion that Hannibal is not only dangerous, that he's a dangerous person behind his person suit that she has seen him wearing all this time, but that the story that Will has been telling isn't just a story. She has come to think, you know what, that makes total sense to me after everything that I've heard from Hannibal, the way that he talks about people, you know, his general demeanor, whatever it is that happened between them with her other patient in the past and violence. She's figured it out. She's the only person at this point that believes that Hannibal is actually the guilty party. And of course, you know, she's not going to say this to Jack or anybody, which that could have been more beneficial to Will in the long run if she was to come forward and be like, hey. But of course, understandably, she's not going to do that. She's going to flee for her life because she is now under the impression that Hannibal is a killer, a serial killer, and she rightly guessed that he would come after her. I find it interesting wondering about what would have happened if instead of coming forward and telling him that she had concluded he was dangerous and that she was just going to leave and didn't want to be associated with him anymore, if she had just continued to meet with him and engage in therapy with him, would she actually have been at risk? I don't know. I think it's possible, and maybe that's kind of what pushed her, because she felt Hannibal was continuing to be so involved with Will and Jack was coming to see her and talk to her. She thought that, you know, eventually Hannibal would think that she was just maybe too much of a risk and get rid of her anyway. Maybe that's why she did it. But I kind of wonder, you know, when she told him that she wasn't going to be, you know, working with him at all anymore, he seemed surprised and upset at that point. So I kind of wonder if maybe it wouldn't have gone that way. Maybe if she hadn't had let anything slip to him, that he would have just continued coming in and talking to her, and who knows, maybe she could have even tried a little manipulation of her own. But, I mean, Hannibal is clearly very, very smart and probably is capable of picking up on if someone is trying to do those things to him, since he's well versed in the tactics. So that probably wouldn't have been ideal, I suppose. But yeah, but now he definitely considers her to be a threat to him, and he's gonna, I don't know if he's just gonna sit back and be like, all right, well, she's gone, I'm not gonna go after her, or if he's gonna search for her or what. But Gillian Anderson, very well done. I don't know if you're gonna show back up again, but I thoroughly enjoyed her role. If she's done on the show, it was very fun, very entertaining. And so now Will has somebody who believes him. Again, this person is not actually of any help to him in her belief, except for what is a pretty important thing, that she just kind of took away any doubt that he personally may have still had, if he had like a sliver of doubt. I mean, earlier in the episode, I was genuinely uncertain whether he was being honest when he was talking to Hannibal and Alana about his supposed confusion. But then we see his face afterwards, and the crying has all disappeared, and so that seems to have been an act. He wanted to get Hannibal to keep coming to him, and maybe he could figure something out that way. But I do think there's a chance that there was that tiny little sliver of uncertainty, of doubt, in his head, and that is almost certainly going to be gone after Hannibal's therapist comes to him and says, "I believe you, and now I'm running away." So yeah, so really interesting episode, probably going to have some big consequences now. Also, Will has Beverly seemingly investigating his claims, so he's got sort of an ally who doesn't really believe him but is kind of working on his behalf, and then somebody else who totally believes him but is not working on his behalf at all. So too bad you couldn't combine them. But alright, very good episode. I think I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you very much for joining me today, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.